down. You gotta stand up and fight. Oh, you gotta stand up. Oh, you fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh, you
In person is so much more beautiful.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, Marley State of Mind podcast. We're down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios, and I got a couple special guests in the building. To my right, I got Brodie Casanova. I got Dre Dior in the building. What's up, fellas?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. How y'all feeling tonight?
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just did the new set. Actually, this is a new setup for us. We had a different setup before, and this is the first time. Or no. I guess last week I interviewed two people too. So this is the second time. I thought it was the first time, but I definitely had two guests on a new set. So
Who, if you don't mind me asking, who was the two before?
We had these filmmakers in the building. We had what's about Benjamin? I forget bro's last name. I don't think that's it though.
Well, whoever it was.
Yeah, we had two local filmmakers. Is it Pramuk?
Yeah,
Pramuk.
Pramuck.
Benjamin Pramuk and his homie. Who was the homie's name? Aaron Cooper. That's your boy. Yeah, Aaron Cooper.
I've heard that name before.
But they're local filmmakers. They're making a horror film called The Damned. The Damned Lands. My bad. The Damned Lands.
Hey, if they need music for the background.
Oh, that's fine. That's a good idea.
I got a bunch of horror beats that I don't like.
That's a good idea.
I ain't really touched on.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it can help score.
Promote cross promotion.
Yeah. You can help them score a movie.
Listen,
that'd be fire.
Do what I can.
But yeah, so we got you in the building. I usually like to start it off saying how I was introduced to artists or how I come to find the artists. And this is no different. And like I told you a little bit off camera, I seen your name floating around for a while, working with different artists shouting you out. I hollered at the homie Hollywood, and she gave me a laundry list of people I should interview, and you were one of the first that she mentioned.
Shout out to Hollywood. Appreciate that.
Shout out to Hollywood for that. Yeah, so man, I'm glad to have y'all in the building tonight.
Thank you for having us.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
For sure. So, I like to take the guest on the journey through your career, past, present, and your plans for the future, and
all right,
let them know how you got to be where you are. Some of the things you're working on present day, and and kind of like I always say, it's like the Christmas Carol. I'm a ghost of Christmas past, present, and future.
I can dig it.
So for you with music, when was the first time you really started dabbling in music to the point you're like, damn, this is something I feel like this isn't just a background noise. This is something that means something to me.
I was about to say my first time dabbling with it. Back in the day, you probably remember whenever like stuff on the radio come on, you like make the little parody songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mom used to get hot because we make like full on with verses, and we used to do that, and she used to get mad. But it got real for me when a group that I was with back in the day. I was the muscle, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was part of the little group, and another rap group dissed us, and they said we want all hands on deck. We want everybody to rap. I didn't know how to rap, but I got on the microphone and I did my best.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
That's funny, bro. I got a similar story, very very similar to that. So I definitely feel that. Do you remember the first parody you did?
You got what but it was
Bismarck.
You got a disease, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is just horrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? We PC now, but like back in the day, oh yeah, we were singing that, and mugs would get hot and be wanting to be ripping. It'd be a whole rip session based off that song alone.
Yeah,
and the verse, like it was a verse, but it was only like maybe like 4 bars. But
right.
In my head, that was
you was killing it.
No, that was the verse of the century.
Yeah,
then
you killing it. Yeah,
but it was terrible.
No, I feel
it was terrible, and it was in bad taste. It was terrible and in bad taste. But yeah, that was
your first dabble into it.
Yeah, that was my first real. It was a rap beef that somehow I got involved in. It wasn't again a rap beef. I want to say that because it wasn't like a street beef.
No, it wasn't nothing serious. Ain't nobody getting hurt about it.
Yeah, and when I started rapping, I was like a little too aggressive. I'm like talking about hurting people and stuff, and they was like, "Whoa, Jamal, don't pull out the knife."
It ain't
like,
that deep.
Yeah, they hit me with that, and I was like, I'm just sitting in the back, like I'll just stand in the back of the photos and shit.
Yeah.
But like that kind of like was like, ooh, it was fun. You know what I mean? It was like I want to do this. Yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah.
And then I tried to write a verse. And then at some point I reached out to one of my cousins. I ain't gonna say his name. He ghost wrote for me. Ended up being the Game's verse off of a song on a mixtape.
Bro, he ghost wrote a game verse for you?
He ghost wrote a written verse for me and gave it to me. Let me
You
rap
probably
it.
like, this is some heat.
Yes. I was like, this is hard. And I rapped it.
No.
And when they clown me, dog. They kicked me out the group and everything. They clown me, kicked me out the group. I was like,
you're probably like, no, this ain't no game verse. I know this ain't no game verse.
I was if you asked me to fight to prove it, like I was willing to die on that hill.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the one dude was like, bro, I'm gonna find the verse.
And it wasn't like YouTube era days where they could have just YouTubed the shit.
They really had to go find the CD.
The mixtape. Yeah.
He went on LimeWire, just typed in the name of the song, pulled up the song, and played it. And I was like,
damn, that is it.
I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just head to the crib. Y'all got
what
it.
You say the cuz after that. I know you had some words.
Bro, man, listen. I was a dumb kid, man. I always was like that family over everything thing.
Yeah.
So I forgave him too many times. And that was one of the times where I was just like, oh no, you know what? You made a mistake.
Yeah.
And that was me being naive and thinking that was the best thing to do.
Right.
Like, forget them. They don't care about me. Meanwhile, they're telling me the truth.
Right.
I'm like, you're my cousin. You at least tried to make me look good in front of them.
Right.
Meanwhile, he didn't give a fuck.
No, he did the opposite.
Yeah. He absolutely set me up.
What about you, Dre? What was your first venture off to making music, bro?
First it was like playing around with my boys in high school, and everybody started going to, like, my one boy went to Toledo to play football, and my other boy went to St. Vincent. And so I was just like, well, shit, I ain't get on the football team anywhere.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm gonna just keep doing it. So
that kind of became your new identity.
Yeah.
Doing the music. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kept doing it. And then my cousin, who actually was rapping back in the day, P. Coles, he was just like, yo, you got like, you just need a little bit,
Yeah.
just no brush up, but
you on to something.
Yeah. So he took me to my first studio session. It was if you know 310 Recordings, I think, in Monroeville.
Okay.
Van is the
shout out to Van.
Shout out to Van. He put me in there, and then Van, like, if you know how he sound, he's like, yo, you sound all right, man.
Yeah.
You sound good. And I was like, yeah. So ever since then, I started doing my thing. And then like P. Cole started like going to the back doing what he got to do. And then I just kept going for real. And then, I was with Black Fountain.
Okay.
And
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
that's what's up, Shamar.
Yep, me, Shamar, and Ramon Yancey.
Okay, that's hard.
And then after that, did my own thing. And then I met this dude.
Okay.
And then all history after that.
Damn, that's fire, bro. I didn't know you was rocking with Black Fountain. Shamar's the homie. He was on the episode. Make sure y'all check out that episode with Shamar. But yeah, hell yeah. So what's that first studio session for you like? Was you geeked to hear yourself in a real professional setting?
I was 18 then, so I think during that time, that was like the SoundCloud era, like when it was like you was always putting stuff on SoundCloud. So I was just, they found out like I was finding my voice still. Yeah. So it was just like they was like, yeah, you sound real aggressive for real. Like you sounded like you could tell I was listening to like Tech Nine a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm about to ask you, what influenced you? Like, what made you?
So,
because usually whatever influenced us is kind of what we gravitate towards sounding like.
Yeah. Before
we really find our voice, like you said, when you're finding yourself.
Right. My influences was definitely like Redman and Method Man.
Okay. Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes. Eminem. You gotta give everybody. It's cool nowadays to diss Eminem, but.
No, I'm with you, bro. I'm a big Eminem fan.
You definitely got to give like his props, definitely.
I'm a big Eminem fan. He ain't never going.
So
I ain't never going to be mad at that one.
Right. So all those people like kind of molded me into like so I can be more animated when I make music and stuff. So
taught you how to play with your voice beat, different deflections, different things like that to do.
Right. And then
because a lot of those guys that you named are animated. You know, Redman was real animated with his vocal deflections and things like that. Busta Rhymes, especially, right? Busta Rhymes has a lot of that vocal deflection where he goes in and out and does these cool things. And Eminem too. Like he has these,
Eminem looked up to them.
Yeah, so. he exactly. Eminem's favorite rapper is Reggie, right? Reggie Noble's Redman. So yeah, absolutely. Those were good good role models to have in the game, especially if, like you said, if you're thinking about vocal deflection and things like that are important to you, for sure.
And then after that, they was just like, he's like, you sound real aggressive. And ever since that, I started like just playing with it after that. Then after a while, I just started making my own little sound after a while. But you know, Kendrick nowadays is like, that's my big influence from now. But you know, so I started getting a little goofy and stuff, all based off of like how he could do things and still say something. Like you got something to say, but you may sound like a little goofy at the same time.
Right.
That's how so I do it like that.
You still have fun with it, but you're still saying something with substance in it. Yeah, I feel that. Now for you, Brodie, you did the parodies. You was doing the parodies. You said you got into the rap beef, and the homies was like, "Man, you doing too much. You gotta fall back."
Mine's went the opposite of his.
Yeah,
like, his was pleasant, insight, messages.
Right.
Mine's went from that to like doing like battle raps and like way like more aggressive like verses and.
Were you doing like actual like street battles? Like you're in a
like it was.
Like acapella, like instrumental stuff, like
standing on the corner by Grizz's store, like group of us out there, and hey man, go get your best guy, that type of stuff,
like real cypher feels.
Like that was where I grew up at. I listened to a lot of Luda.
I think there's no better way to come up in hip hop than that. When you got to be quick on your feet, and it prepares you for like different stage performances because you can never get nervous. Like once you do that, like once you conquer that arena, there's nothing that you're not prepared for in hip hop.
And I grew up listening to like Luda, DMX, of course, Wayne, but that was it. Like, and that wasn't for the whole like the wholesome reason, like to diversify your skill set.
Right.
Mine was like they got bars.
They're
attacking that. I want to do what they're doing.
I like that list.
I learned the syllables, you know what I'm saying? Like how to break down the syllables to where it was like, give me a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And then once I learned that, I was like, all right, cool. I just got to put the words in there. And then it was like, all right, cool. So once I figure out the words, I've always been somebody who's like, I like to read. So once I start reading, and I'm like, all right, I know that this word is 3 syllables. I can put this word in here. I can put that in there because it's 2 syllables.
You're building a puzzle now.
Yeah. And whenever I used to work for Square One teaching
DJ Chevy.
Whenever I used to work there, they had me teaching young artists like performance and delivery and all that stuff. I was like saying to them, like, whenever you're about to start rapping, think about how you want to say it. And then just reach out in your head and grab the words. And if you don't got the words, start reading more.
Right.
You will develop a vocabulary,
a lexicon,
a laundry list of words and phrases that you can use to where you can just pull them out of the air.
Right.
So if the beat go off and you don't remember your words, you can just keep going.
Fill it in,
You can just keep going till they get it right. And then once we started doing all that, it was like, oh man, he knows some stuff. No, it's not that I know some stuff. It's just like
experience.
Yeah, like I had to learn it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times where it's like I'm quiet, and they're like, "Oh, he choking." Well, no, I'm not choking. It's just I really can't think of what can go in this 3-syllable spot.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to finish my bars because I can say something that I've written, but I want freestyle.
Right.
But yeah, like that's what I've been working on for the past year and a half is getting back to freestyling. So like everything that has been coming out for the past like year or so, has actually been freestyle. Okay. Like I'll go into the studio, I won't write nothing, and I'll get like if I have something like what rhymes with this, I might pull up a rhyme dictionary. Yeah. But other than that, even then,
are you doing like punches when you're freestyling?
Sometimes I'll do a punch, and then I'll go as long as I can. Yeah. And then I'll stop it, see what I like, and then take the rest out, and then punch back in.
Now, how does that differ from what you were doing because you said you just recently started approaching it like this. How does that differ from how you used to do it prior to this?
In my opinion, the way I used to do it before was it was more painstaking because it took away from the time I could really spend just enjoying making the song.
Right.
Because it's like, I gotta make sure this is right. I gotta make sure that's right.
You think you were overthinking the process?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
This allows you to be a little bit more free when you're creating like this?
To be completely honest, this is the best reception I've got off any of my music since I've been just like saying, like fuck it and just having fun with it.
Right.
If it sound good, I'll say it, but I won't say it. If it just because it sound good, I'm not gonna say it just because it fits.
Good. Yeah.
You dig? But it gotta feel good. Like, how do I feel about this? I like it. All right, cool. I'm gonna use it. And yeah, I've been getting.
Yeah, I know you, and you mentioned that a little bit off camera that you've been creating a little bit more off emotion. But before I get into that, Dre, I want to know a little bit about your creative process. Like for you, like Brodie let us into his creative process now, saying that he's a little bit more into freestyling. What does it look like when you're creating?
Shoot, I don't even know how to describe that.
I can describe it.
Yeah,
you can't.
I can describe it.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Not
I know.
Working with Dre is definitely at the beginning was a task because I didn't know his style. You know what I mean? I didn't know his intentions behind his recording.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? But like now it's just a matter of letting him know, like, bro, you got it. Just do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like when he's writing, oh yeah, I wrote this, and he'll send me a screenshot of the written. I want to hear it.
Right.
Like, cause it looks great. You got something written, but I want to hear it.
Right.
And then like recently we was just talking about, I'm like, bro, whenever you're rehearsing, don't be so self-conscious that you don't say it out loud, because then you won't catch the proper breaths and everything like that. And it's not like he's doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing. Like,
right.
All artists go through a situation when they're like, I got this. It's in my head. I got it.
Oh yeah.
You know
no, that's a good point too, right? Because until you actually verbalize it, it can sound one way in your mind, but when you speak it, it may not come out the way that, or smooth, or it might be a little bit longer than what you first anticipated being. And then when you finally let it out, you're like, oh, I need to change this up a little bit, or I need to do that a little bit. So that's a good tip for all musicians who are listening. Make sure you spit that a couple times before you decide to record it, because it might sound different in your head than what it actually sounds when you're vocalizing it. But is that, you feel like that's an accurate description of some of your process?
That mixed with I make every song I make is gonna turn into an album in some way.
Okay.
So
you got to create with purpose.
Yes. I create with purpose.
Like you're not just making singles or just making stuff to throw away. Like if you're creating, it has to be towards a purpose.
Right.
I feel that.
Like it's like I'm not one of those like really those playlist type people.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just like with that Jay-Z line, he said, do you actually listen to an album or you skim through it?
Yeah.
I'm not a skim through it guy. So you gotta like literally, I made this song for a reason.
Right.
And when you listen from the beginning to the end, you'll understand why I made it this
what
song before that song.
Yeah.
And why I sound like that to that. So
they got to see the whole picture.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people ain't gonna get it. Some people are. Like some people actually listen to an album because they want to.
Do you think that's like in today's time? I think people are less. I think people's attention spans obviously are shorter now, right?
Right.
And they have a tendency to sit on albums a lot shorter. I know even myself, I do, and I'm an album guy. Like I like to listen to albums. I like it when they come out. But my favorite artist may drop an album and I listen to it for like a week, then I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because the time we live in, music is so abundant.
Yeah, it's readily available.
Do you feel like that hurts what you're trying to do, or do you think with you making albums and being album focused, you still have a lane with it being so fast paced now?
I mean, if the music's good, the music's good.
Mm-hmm.
It just maybe if I dropped this album for a reason, and the only thing you come to me to tell me you like the single, I'd be like, all right. So did you even listen to the other parts of the album, or you only care about that single?
Right.
Because I dropped that single months ago before I dropped the full album, and you just now told me you like it. So do you just now
really
listen to it? Yeah, like so it just, I don't know. As an artist, I'm gonna be a little sensitive about
Right,
it.
sure.
But
Absolutely.
you know, you can't
make people consume it the way you want them to consume it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I just dropped the project, The Soul Purpose. And I dropped that in November 22nd last year.
Yeah.
And I had my singles, but they sound like a single enough that they're actually a single. Like, so if you're gonna only listen to one song through like a playlist, you're gonna have that one song.
Right.
But if you take the time out to really listen to
the full album,
you're not gonna be upset.
Right.
So
you're gonna catch something different than you would have caught with just a single.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
That's how it is. And you can kind of pinpoint who's really listening to your stuff or not. Like, so
that's why I let him for the last couple projects do the track order, the track list.
Okay.
I let him do it because I don't care about nothing.
You're not as intentional.
Yeah, like,
right.
I made some good music. Somebody gonna like this.
Right.
I know somebody is, because if I like it, there's at least one person that think like me.
Right.
So I'm just gonna put it out. But with Love Hurts 3, I've had a lot of people like, yo, the way you put that, I said, I didn't put it together like that. He put it together like that.
Okay.
Because if it was up to me,
yeah.
Oh man, you'd got guessing games, anything in the world in between, and then I'm a forward the end.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We could have, you could have been, hey man,
anything else.
Track number 3,
yeah.
I'd be like, sound good to me.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, he'll be like, hey, track number 3 needs to go here because of this. It sounds good following off of that. And then number 4, the reason why number 4 is number 4, and he'll give that to break the whole thing down to me. I'm like, all right, cool. And then when it release, it's like, it's kind of like a gift to myself because I get to hear it now. Like, this is somebody else's vision of of
your creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it flows well.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable to hear somebody say that, because then I get to be like, yo, somebody liked how you put together the joint. Like,
yeah.
And I'm not too big to be like, oh, thanks, I appreciate that. No, I didn't do that.
Right.
Not at all.
That's what's up. Now, Dre, with that, are you the same way with your like your show sets? Whenever you're doing a show, like, are you as intentional with the way you line up songs? Like, okay, this needs to transition into this, that needs to go into this, so I can make the audience feel this. Are you right? Or do you approach it the same way as when you're putting an album together?
Yeah, I approach it the same way, especially like based off of where I'm at. I'm gonna make something based off of, I know I'm gonna read the room. You always gotta read the room.
Yep.
You know, I'm not gonna go to a poetry session and have some song talk about smacking bitches all
right,
day.
Right.
Like, even though I don't make music like that,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a song that I talk about black love if I know there's gonna be a majority of black women going to be there.
Right.
You know? So
you're gonna make something relatable to the audience.
Right. So because I'm gonna make,
or you're gonna perform stuff that's relatable to the audience, I should say.
Right. Because at the end of the day, like, most artists, if you're going to be on stage, you should make a song that has a call and response type setup so they can keep thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they leave, if it's out, you know, a lot of people don't like to drop stuff that's, but if it's out, they're gonna be, yo, I remember that. I probably know the name of the song now
because it was said. It was, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
That's how I treat it.
That's dope. Now, so we got into the creative process, how you guys started creating, when you started creating. Now, do you remember the Brodie, I'll start with you. Do you remember the first project that you put together and made available to people?
Yeah, absolutely. It was called The Smoke Break.
Okay.
It was
what was the motivation behind that one?
Weed. Just lots and lots of smoking.
Yeah.
Like, every single song was like catered towards, if you're high, this is for that moment.
Okay.
If you're rolling up, this is for that moment. If you ran out of weed, this is for that moment. Now, mind you,
it was the whole process. It was the
whole like from top to bottom.
Yeah.
The first blunt, second blunt, run out of blunts, go to the store, grab some snacks. It was for all of that.
That's dope.
And then I even threw in a joint or two, like, you try and, you know what I'm saying, cut something with your shorty. Like, I threw that in there. And because because I don't think about stuff, my whole goal was, I'm going to make this project and only put this project on Dat Piff, because it was a theme, a whole running gag.
Yeah.
It's a smoke thing, so why not put it on the
Dat
smoke?
Piff. Yeah.
And then Dat Piff went away.
Yeah.
I'll put it in quotations, went away, because it's technically still there, but that album is no longer on there.
Yeah.
I went to go look for it just for the possibility of remaking songs and stuff. Couldn't find it. But
yeah, and that's an important thing that we didn't touch on. And while we're on that, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
My apologies. If people, for the viewers that are watching, how can they get a hold of y'all if they want to listen to the music if they want to say what's up to you, what's your socials and what's the best way to stream you?
I'll let you go first because mine's is like real cut and dry. For real, mine's very simple.
Absolutely.
So all my music is on every streaming platform you could think of. Dre Dior, DREDIOR.
Yes, sir.
You probably see me wearing a yellow Pittsburgh made Kango hat. Shout out to Reggie House. You know, cut from different what's it called? Oh shoot. That's a different group. Heart on the Sleeve. Heart on the Sleeve.
Don't look at me.
I'm supporting everybody's stuff.
Yeah,
Shout
hell
out to
yeah.
Rebel Bread. I'm wearing this hat right now.
Hell
So
yeah.
Shout out to Rebel Bread.
So yeah, and then my Instagram and Twitter is Must Be Dre. So like must be nice, but must be Dre.
Must be Dre.
So you know.
Bless you. Twice. Mine's is simple because I'm old. It's Brodie Casanova.
Brodie Casanova.
One of them got 412 at the end of it. But other than that, it's just Brodie Casanova on everything.
And you guys open a collaboration. Somebody want to collab with y'all?
Always. And if you're like, this is just for me. I don't know how Dre feel about this, but if you're what I consider to be like a confident spitter, like you're somebody that's like, I want to be the best verse on the track, please feel free to send it to me because I would love. We can spar all day on any track.
Yeah.
And all it's going to do is produce the best possible quality for both of us.
Yeah.
So like,
I think it should be competitive, man.
I
know if I'm on a track with you, I'm coming to chop your head off.
Oh yeah, like please.
That's how I feel about
by all
it
means, like
yeah.
you should storm the castle.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. But like,
I agree with
that. I don't think that a lot of people they take that a little too far. Where it's like if somebody says, "Oh well," you know what I'm saying, he got the better verse than you, Brodie. Okay.
Yeah.
That means we gotta run it back.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit you up on a random Tuesday. Hey, you trying to do another song?
Yeah.
And even if you don't feel like it's like us running it back.
Yeah.
If you say, yeah, all right, cool, I'm gonna try it again.
Right.
And that's always been a philosophy for me. Like that's why I like working with him.
Yeah.
It's not a competitive thing with us now.
Yeah.
But like before it was like, oh, I've heard him spit. I gotta make sure that I'm not falling behind.
Right.
But
now you don't want to make him look bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to make yourself look bad in the process.
Right. Yeah. Like for Brodie Orr, the first one, because now we're working on the second one. But for the first one, I told him my goal is to make sure that everybody hears what I hear from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
tell the people about Brodie Orr.
Oh, that was a good project.
There we go. Hey.
Oh yeah, that's the cover.
Yeah.
That's the merch from the project, turned into a hoodie.
That was a collab project with the two of you, correct?
Yeah. We that was fun.
It was.
I like.
How did that come about?
You set it up.
Honestly, it was just I did a video and I invited a bunch of people to the video and he came to the video, showed support. And I've always been somebody who I work with you based off of your support of me. And you know what I'm saying? That was at least before. Because now I see that some people support in different ways. Right. So now it's more genuine when I'm like, hey, let me fuck with you. But he came through and I was like, yo, man, I know you make music. Why don't you come through? And it was always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come through. And I start talking shit. You's a hoe. You ain't coming through, man. Yeah. And all of a sudden he came through one day, and I was like, this nigga rapping. Let's do another song.
Remember, Pete Coles was telling you, he kept saying like, yo, you should.
Yeah, and Pete Coles, that's his cousin,
right? Shouted out Pete Coles earlier. What up, Pete?
We grew up like brothers. Like my dad and his mom was like dating for a while. And like that was like my brother.
Oh, okay, so y'all really grew up like brothers.
Like he's one of the people that I'm like that's my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when he tossed that in there, I was like, all right, I'll work with him. But I'd already started working with him by then. But I'm like, all right, P. Cole's is saying it, then I might have to like do a couple songs just to make sure that P can see, like, bro, I'm keeping up with your peoples. Now you need to step up. Because by that point he retired or whatever.
Right.
But then we started working on the songs, and then we would, hang out more and kick it more and chop it up more. And then before you know it, it was like, hey man, why don't we just do a project? Yeah. And we started working on it.
So it happened real organic, like
it
wasn't even nothing intentional. Like you guys were just working so much together, like fuck it. Yeah. Why are we not doing a project?
Yeah. And most of the time it was me being like, man, we might as well just.
Yeah, we made Dollar Bill. That was the first song we did together.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite verses of his from that project.
Yeah, that was fresh off of Progressions of a Man project that I did.
Yeah.
And I was just, just gonna keep doing music, but I'm like, you know, I like to make my music sit for, you gotta at least like the song and album for like a year before I want to give you something else.
Yeah.
But then that's when P. Coles was like hitting me up like, oh, I mean, I know you dropped something like 5 months ago, but you should drop something else. And I was already hanging out with him.
And I'm
so
terrible without, bro. Why ain't you dropped nothing yet?
So it was like
me. I'm giving you beats. Just, let's put something out. I'm like a fiend with it. I'm like, let's put something out. Let's put something out. He's like, nah, man, I just want to take my time. I'm like, nah, man, people like your music. Let's put something out.
Wow, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
So we was working on what? The soul, we was working on my EP, Soul Searching EP.
Yeah.
And Brodie were at the same time. So it was like, oh, we should do this. Now we should put that on that. I'm gonna keep this one. You don't be on this one. This is for me.
Right.
And then that's when everything came together from that. Like, you just kept dropping songs and just kept making them. And then we just like, all right, we're going to drop this one single and see how everybody's feeling about it. That was Marathon. And everybody was liking that. So I was like, ever since then, I was like, all right, since if they like it,
let's keep running it back. Yeah.
Just keep going.
And then at some point within that mix, I was like, you're a part of Lyrically Loud. He wasn't listening, but I already had it in my head. Like,
yeah,
I'm passing the torch to him. Like, because there's like, don't get me wrong, there's other artists that are dope, you know what I'm saying? But like legit, man, he's a humble dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not trying to like step on nobody's toes. He just wants to work with people. I'm like, man, this is how I was.
That's the
like,
same.
Yeah. Like that's the type of time I'm on. I'm trying to be on.
Right.
And I was like, man, look, man, you might as well come rock with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I got anybody else I got good chemistry with you. Like, let's knock some more music out.
Right.
And then before you know it, man's at my house eating my chicken.
Yeah. Taking your dog for a walk.
Taking my dog.
Yeah.
Messing with telling my nieces that there's more kids coming. To them.
Damn.
But not and all jokes aside though, like if it wasn't for him, there's a lot of Pittsburgh artists now that I would have not been able to like really get to know better, because he's like, no, reach out to this person.
Okay.
Oh, you should think about contacting this person. And it was just
because there's a period of time where you really weren't out and about. You was just
I mean
low key.
Even now, I just said to him, like, I gotta be more outside.
Yeah.
But like before it was like I wasn't nowhere, man. Like you
for any reason in particular, or just
I don't do well in crowds, just because I've been in situations where like you go somewhere and there's somebody over in the corner somewhere that just don't like what you got going on. Don't got nothing personal, maybe, but they just don't like what you got.
They got their own thing going on. It might cross over into your world.
Yeah, and I'm not. I've been in the situations. I've seen situations. Like, I used to do security in clubs and stuff like that, and I've seen too many people get off the stage after a good set, and then everybody dapping them up, and now everybody jumping on each other.
Right.
Like, I'm cool, bro. If I can put my music out, because that was the biggest hurdle. How can I put my music out and get it heard without having to physically be everywhere all the time? Because I wanted to be with my daughter, be with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting older. I want to be with my family.
Yeah. I feel
so
that.
That's when I learned about sending my music overseas. And once I learned about sending my music overseas,
talk about it.
Oh, look, man.
Let's talk about it.
So something that people don't really realize is,
because that's a good point. Because there's people who are so worried about like not receiving support where they're from. And I learned the same thing from a Nigerian friend of mine, because he was telling me, he's like, in Nigeria there's 300 million black people in Nigeria, and that's the population of America.
Yeah.
The whole entire United States of America. He's like, imagine if you can gather 1% of that Nigerian audience, what that can do for your career.
Right.
And that expanded my mind to what you're saying. So so please tell us about that.
So one day I was just like, trying to figure out how I can get my music out to people without having to be physically at these bars and clubs that I don't want to be at. And I was like, man, like, it would be nice. Me and my wife was talking about, I was like, what if we just like, what if somebody got a hold of my songs and was playing it out in Japan or something, and we went out there and seen a billboard for my album out there? She's like, why don't you just buy a billboard in Japan and advertise your album out there? I was like, oh, that's dope. I never thought about just reaching out, because
that's brilliant. Yeah.
Chances are there's somebody that speaks English there, or some way to translate that. And then I was like, wait a minute, if I can just, because I went on Google and looked up billboard prices and everything in Japan.
No, that's brilliant.
So we were talking about it, and then it went from that to, why don't I just send my music out there instead of waiting for them to get it? I can give it to them before they have to find it, because there's no guaranteed chance they're going to find it. they're getting Drake and J. Cole. Why don't I send them some Brodie?
Right.
So it went from that to, all right, let me see who's accepting free music submissions in Japan, in China, in Thailand, in Ireland, in Russia, in India. And I started looking at all of these pirate radio stations, all of these podcasts, all of these free music submission radio stations that want American music as long as it's clean. And I just started sending it. Like, I mean, when I tell you, I took a one night and I stayed up all night just sending emails, sending press kits, sending emails. And then before you know it, I looked on United Masters about a month later and it was like 1,000 streams in India. I'm like,
that's fire.
Like, what? No, there's no way.
Yeah.
And the next thing, another 1,000 in a different country.
Yeah.
And then at some point it was like I didn't drop under like 300 or 400 streams a day just consistently for like a year.
Wow.
Which is 300. Somebody and somewhere
Yeah.
was just listening to my music.
Yeah.
And it was just 300 streams a day. And then that first little check came in.
Some Japanese kid is writing a verse to his cousin's song.
Still in my verse,
still in
and
your
I'm okay
verse.
with it though. I'll clear it. Hey, listen, I'll clear it. I'll clear it. You can use it, bro. The game wasn't gonna clear mine, but I'll clear yours.
There it is.
But that's also why I started putting out beat tapes because it was like I'm gonna send this stuff
because you're a producer as well. You make instrumentals.
Yeah,
we didn't even delve into that.
Yeah, I started making beat tapes specifically for people that's like, yo, I want some dope stuff to rap to.
Yeah.
But they don't got the money for a beat, or man, don't worry about it. I got 20 tracks that I just put out. Go crazy. And I try to tell people hear that, like, yo,
yeah,
go like shout out to PK. I hope that you're not offended by me saying this, but like she hit me up to buy some beats.
Pretty
cool. She's like, yeah, she was like,
yeah.
She said, I like this beat. I was like, okay, you could buy it, or on YouTube, there's this link to the same exact beat and it's free. I'll just grab it, and then whenever you need the copyright code, just hit me up.
Yeah.
That way I notice you're using it. I'm gonna give you the clearance anyway.
Yeah.
You don't gotta buy nothing. She's like, is that easy? I'm not saying it's hard.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, she was like, all right, bro. And then that was it. But like I promise you, like I want people to be able to just grab a beat.
She was probably taken back because how many people were that generous? You know what I mean? It's very rare that you find that type of generosity in music.
I appreciate it. That's very humbling to hear it because I'm not trying to like do or be anything. I just want people to make good music.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's always been my goal.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
thing. If you make good music, I always say it, you make good music, come holler at me.
Yeah. Chances
are you ain't got to pay for nothing the first time around.
Yeah.
Because I just want to make something good. Like me and him, we be talking and somebody asked me like, oh well, how much do you charge Dre for beats? Once he makes $1 million, then we'll talk.
Why would they even ask you that though?
Because they basically wanted the same deal that Dre gets.
Yeah, but
you're not going to get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why would anyone even have that expectation though? Like,
but
you know what I mean.
But think about where we're at. You know what I mean? Especially in the time we're at.
That's just wild to me.
People want the cheapest thing, the best product for the cheapest price.
You shouldn't be trying to count another man's pockets though. Like, why would you be worried about with that man? You know, I mean, that's just the way I think. I don't know.
And my response to them was like, my response was just, hey man, go on YouTube and download some beats off there.
And it's not like you're not providing, like you said, you're providing these different avenues for people to get your instrumentals to work if they want to.
And if it's a situation where, oh, I hear this, I want this, but I don't want this one because it's already on YouTube, hit me up. If you buy
then we can work something. Yeah.
The first session's always free.
Yeah, that's fire.
I'd like.
So you engineer as well.
Yep.
Okay.
I've all of our projects I've engineered. I've done all the graphics for my projects. All of the ones since Soul Searching, right?
Yeah.
All the ones since Soul Searching, I've done the graphics for his projects. I do the graphics for my projects.
Now, how did you get into beat making? What made you go down that lane?
I bought a laptop for a friend of mine's because he said he knew how to make beats.
Yeah.
Then he got baptized and said that music was the devil. And then he decided that
I've heard these stories before. Yes.
Yeah. Then he told me that I wasn't gonna be able to make no beats. And I don't like that. Like, why is it that I can't make beats? You was just making beats.
Right.
What makes you think that I'm not capable of doing what you're doing? So I learned how to chop a loop, chop the drums, chop the snares, and slide them everywhere they need to be
right.
to make a beat. it was a terrible beat, but
did it nonetheless.
Once I figured out how to do it, it took me 2 more beats, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is a dope beat.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, so I let him hear a couple beats, and his response was, oh, well, I mean, once you run out of loops on this program, you're done. Like, you ain't gonna be able to make no more beats. Well, all right, but I'm pretty sure that they got more loops in the world somewhere.
Right.
I started looking at other websites, and
sound like he was a motivator.
Oh yeah, he was very, very motivational. And I end up finding all these different sites where you get free loops, you can pay for loop packs, where you get, you know what I'm saying, like the chopped samples, and that I still chop further and sample, you know, change the octaves and change the keys. And before you know it, I'm at 2,000 beats. And that's 2,000 with what we've already recorded and what I've sold to other people.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't even.
You wouldn't even went down that path.
If he'd have been like, hey man, look, I can't make no beats for you. You know, maybe you can find somebody else. I probably would have. Well,
damn, God's good, ain't he?
Oh yes, all the time.
God's good. And that's the thing. Like, we have these things happen to us, because I had a friend that happened to. He had a song that was real popular, and the guy that put it up for him on YouTube found God, and he was like, yeah, I gotta take this down. It doesn't represent, like, he all he did was upload it too. So he did something very similar to what you're saying happened to him. Which, you know, I mean, it's whatever, you know, how people, people believe, you know, I gotta respect it. Yeah, I respect that. But at the same time, when you're interfering with someone's art, you know, I mean, that's a whole different monster.
Yeah, I've had a situation where somebody took my music off of their platform because they didn't agree with something that I did or said.
Yeah.
And instead of like just giving me the footage and let me post it myself, they just deleted it, and I was never able to get it back, never able to look at it, touch it. And I ain't going to talk about it, because he know.
Yeah.
But it's the reason why I tend to like even more stick to myself, because like, if I own everything, can't nobody take it away.
Right.
And if you're working with me, I'm gonna make sure you own everything. So can't nobody, like, Dre can never, like, I can never say to Dre, I'm taking this down.
Right.
Dre own all his beats.
Right.
Even if just because I made them, who's the producer? He can say me, but I tell him all the time, put your name on it. It's okay. Don't bother me.
Yeah.
I don't want, like, oh, we're gonna come and bring you a Grammy. I don't care about
you. Don't care about accolades.
Yeah, like, just make some good music.
Yeah.
Once you make $1 million though,
then we can have a different conversation.
I'm knocking on that door, and I'm gonna grab his dog.
You're gonna be American. You're gonna be American Gladiators. You ever see that?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be bro. But I do want to get into some of this music. You sent me this track. Stay True.
That's my shit.
And I was like, damn, bro, you spitting on here.
That's my shit.
So I definitely want to get into that track. Hey, Jess, we clear to play?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna be able to hear the joint? Yeah, so you sent me this joint, and I was like, damn, you really going in on this one. And is this like when you started your new creative process, where you were like,
oh, this is all
freestyle?
Yeah, this is well into it.
Yeah.
Like, I sent it to him. He was like, I thought you was making stuff for Love Hurts. Listen, bro, I just want to rap.
This was inspired. I just felt inspired just that.
Yeah, I just want to rap.
Yeah, we'll be able to hear it. All right, that's a bet. So this one's called Stay True, and this is a single. It's streaming everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Stay True, the single by Brodie Casanova. Make sure y'all tune in.
Here we go.
Moment of silence for the nigga that I couldn't be. Hard working, dedicated, unemployed. Yeah, that's me. Collect the stacks and stack them up to the ceiling. Call me the kingpin. The city see me as a villain. Meanwhile, I'm trying to save it. You should compare me to David. Going against Goliath. I'm really built by the fire. Money got me on another level. That's a fact. Hustle hard on that next tail chirping like, where you at? Never go broke again. I gotta stay on my grind. We ain't racing to the money. I gotta to leave you behind. Talking cash stacks, power moves, middle finger to the rest. If you thinking about blue checks, then you failed the test. You talking blue faces, then maybe you might not be basic. Mention Krishan and I promise you that it might get dangerous. They ain't worried about the fame or the fortune. We only worry about who paying the mortgage. Somebody pray for them. Cash stacks, power moves, middle finger to the rest. We giving power to higher powers to stay blessed. Hold it down. That's what we gotta do. Money, power, respect. That's all we need to stay true. Cash stacks, power moves, middle finger to the rest. We giving power to higher powers to staying blessed. Hold it down. That's what we gotta do. Money, power, respect. That's all we need to stay true. Money's my language. Bitch, I'm fluent and green. I'm talking Benjamin Franklin's living the dream. No sleep for the winners on top of my game. I'm shining bright, man. You know the price of this fame. You want to make it rain, shit. I want the perfect storm. Overthrowing the powers that's trying to do us harm. A baddie on my arm. You think she's so militant, so sweet and brown skin. She's so innocent. With your lanes, I'm staying one step ahead. Lyrical military, they follow what I done said. They see I'm getting results whenever I chase the bread. Ideas are half-baked, but still they getting fed. I'm still leading the pack, concede to get led. I know that I stole the beat. I'm learning from Steven said. I'm still leading the pack, concede to get led. I know that I stole the beat. I'm learning from Steven said. Power moves, middle finger to the rest. We giving power to higher powers. We stay blessed. Hold it down. That's what we gotta do. Money, power, respect. That's all we need to stay true. Cash stacks, power moves, middle finger to the rest. We giving power to higher powers. We staying blessed. Hold it down. That's what we gotta do. Money, power, respect. That's all we need to stay true. Yeah.
Yeah, that joint crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that joint goes stupid. Stay true. So how did that come about for you? What was the inspiration behind that?
Honestly, I had a dope beat in my hands and was like, ain't nobody else allowed to rap to this. I offered him to rap on it, but now he was like, no, I'm cool. I was like, bad. Like for real, it was kind of like
you said you didn't. I asked you, I asked you whenever you sent him, I'm like, did you make the beat too? You was like, no,
I just had a dope beat in my hands, and I was like, yeah, this is. And mind you, I sent it to the dude that made the beat so that he could, like, you know what I'm saying, give his opinion on it.
Yeah.
And at first he didn't say nothing. Recently he just reached out and was like, oh, yo, I wish you would have sent me this soon. I was like, I sent you as quick as I could, as soon as I was done.
Right.
And he was like, if you need anything to get it cleared, nope, I don't need nothing else. I figured out how to get it cleared. I got you. Don't worry about it. He was like, bet. All right, cool. He's like, hey, thanks for blessing it. I said, thank you for letting me bless it.
Oh, okay.
But
that's the best feeling too, right? When the producer is right in line with you and he's as happy with the work as you are.
And it's like, it's difficult now because I make my own stuff to where it's like somebody else can actually get me motivated to rap on their beat. Cause it's like, there's 3 producers so far that have actually been like, yo, this music is like, this beat is dope. I want to rap to this.
Yeah.
That's Relzy, D-Lane, and Kofi Cooks. That was it. Like, I was like, not saying that nobody else, like, shout out to JPad, he taught me a lot, but those 3, they make the stuff that I really like. And,
shout out Rail Z. He's on the episode too. Make sure y'all check out the episode with Rail Z and JPad as well.
Oh yeah,
is on the episode of Mother State of Mind. Make sure y'all check those out. He's on the Love Hurts album. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna talk about that.
He's rap. Me and him are rapping on a Rail beat because I wanted to get 3 producers working together, but not making a beat. I was like, I'm gonna get one person to make the beat, and then we're both gonna rap on it, and it ended up sounding crispy.
Yeah, JPad's is just a whole different type of monster within himself. And if y'all want to hear more about JPad, definitely make sure y'all check out that episode with JPad, because he got a hell of a story from the mobile studio, which was cutting edge when he was doing that. To working with legends like Project Pat. So yeah, man, that's I seen you had a few features on Love Hurts from some artists that I really rock with personally. Some that's been on here as well. I seen you had JKJ on there.
Yeah, that's my little brother.
JKJ was on up here as well. We definitely rock with JKJ heavy. PK, we talked about PK a little bit earlier. We haven't had the chance to have her on here, but she's a dope artist, pretty Chrissy for those who don't know. Louis the Kid, I've been seeing bro a lot.
That's my dog.
That's
my boy.
He plugged me in the
put
Louis.
A smile on my face every time you say his name. That's my dog.
Yeah, Louis. Hey, listen, Louis came through with the sleeper track because I sent that to him.
I rock with that joint. I like that joint a lot.
So far,
telling them
that block party.
He's been preaching that since we.
Yeah, I like that joint.
We end up working it.
That's one of my
overseas joint right there.
The ones I heard off Love Hurts. I like the Weekend Warrior with JKJ. I like Block Party a lot. I like that Intuition.
You know what's funny? That's my least favorite track on there.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I don't like it or anything like that. That's my least favorite.
Oh no, I get it. Yeah.
Like it's it was just me being silly at first, and I just made something because I was in that mood.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, this is actually pretty solid. And I started listening to it more. I was like, oh, this is a good song. And I started making everything else, and I was like, that could stay over there.
Yeah.
But then when we started putting the project together, something in my spirit was like, it's a staple.
Right.
It's a staple song. It
has
fits.
to be a part of this.
Yeah, like it fits.
And it definitely fits. And when you said you're not intentional in your music, it kind of took me off guard a little bit because it seems like the Love Hurts project is definitely themed. Like it feels like
it's emotion based.
Yes.
The first one was me getting over past heartbreaks.
Okay.
Second one was present heartbreaks, like issues with within my relationship, current, and trying to get over the things that was bothering me in that.
Right.
And then this third one is legit for the most part. Yeah, we still have issues, but honestly, it couldn't be better. You know what I mean? Like, this is like absolutely I'm at peace.
Yeah.
Like over the rainbow type thing. We at the pot of gold now.
Yeah.
And that's
what do you think brought you there to this place of peace? Not even musically, but in a relationship. Like, what do you think? Because like you said, you go to these different phases. What do you think brought you to this place of peace now?
Being completely honest?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Therapy.
Okay.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Going to be able to talk to somebody and getting a way to articulate my feelings and to actively get a solution that works for both of us.
Yeah.
And instead of it just being like, oh, well, this works for me.
Yeah.
Or this works for you. It works for both of us. Now, mind you, it doesn't always work.
Now, if it's not being too intrusive, is this couples therapy or is this just you?
Both.
Okay.
Like one.
All right.
Like, I'll go to solo sessions.
Yeah.
But then we have couple joints as well. And you know what I'm saying? I want people to understand, like, stop making it a taboo thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people need to understand that is a blessing for real.
Yeah.
Especially now because there's a lot more.
That's dope that you're so open to talk about it too.
Oh yeah, because
hopefully that will help someone that may be listening to be like, damn, maybe that's what I need.
For any guys that are out there, my wife is family law. She does custody, divorce, alimony, all of that. So like, if you're a guy and you're like, oh man, I don't have anything to protect me. Yeah, I don't have any representation. She's black. She fights for you. She works hard. Her goal is to win for you, not for herself, for you.
Right.
So like, that's something. And then on top of that, with the therapy thing, there are a lot of for the black guys out there, and you know, some of the white guys that don't feel like a white therapist really understands them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of black guys that understand the experience that people that come from where we're from, not just our color, but also where we're from.
Communities,
yeah. Like it's there are people that understand that, because I've had a lot of situations where I go home with a chip on my shoulder from somebody talking crazy at work because we don't have the same skin color.
Right.
And my therapist is like, if it's a duck, it's a duck.
Right.
Yes, you feel the way you feel because that's what's happening.
Right.
But don't react the way you would. Here's a healthy way to look at this. Here's a healthy way to digest this. Here's a healthy way to respond. And then go home, and instead of beefing with my wife because some fool decided he was going to take my boots and throw them over the fence to be funny.
Right.
It's like, bro, your child.
That's you said a lot, bro, that I kind of want to unpack, because that is a beautiful thing, because one of those things being, being a black man and coming from the environment we come from, we think things are normal that aren't really normal. We think things that are like normal to us isn't really the norm or how things should be. And we don't have great conflict resolution skills due to that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to learn how to approach situations different and to have, like you said, the words to properly represent, because that's all anger is you don't know how to articulate yourself in that moment.
Right.
So you feel this is the best way to get your point across.
And that is absolutely what I want everybody to understand. Like, me going to therapy, because I had a lot of anger issues. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, my dad being in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Me not having both parents.
But that was normal to you.
Yeah,
like that goes back into what we're saying.
After a while, I just was like, hey, it is what it is. My boy's dad was just in jail. My homie's mom was just in,
now you're processing feelings differently than what you would have normally.
And I'm able to talk to him about that. And I'm saying, again, this ain't no slight to my parents. They did the best they could with what they had, and I'm great because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a wife, I got a kid, I take care of my daughter, I take care of my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. Don't mean we don't have rocky times, but we good. But like, straight up and down, when you're in a situation where you feel like you ain't got nobody else to talk to, think about all the rest of the whatever. If you're like, oh man, I can't afford it or whatever, think about that later. Get the help first, because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't charge, that has free services, that have vastly reduced prices on services. There are a lot of services out there that you can just Google.
If you don't have insurance, they'll work with you type stuff.
And in those situations, if you can Google when the next Lil Durk concert is, you can Google that, and I promise you'll get better. You'll get more out of it than that concert.
100%. That's powerful. So, and all this comes from us talking about Love Hurts. This is where you're,
the crazy part about it is,
the art.
The first album, because were we friends on the first? Okay, during the second one though, me and him were solid friends.
I put that together too.
He did the track list for that as well. He'll tell you I was going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife couldn't get right. It seemed
couldn't see eye to eye.
It and the music was great because of it. But that's why Love Hurts 3 is a thing, because I shouldn't have to be in that space to make good music. So now that I'm all loving on my wife, I got better, in my opinion, I got the best product I ever had because of it.
Do you find, and Dre, I'll ask you the same thing. Do you find you have to be in a certain mood to create? Like, you know how some people have certain things, like they have to be in a happy space or they have to be depressed.
For me, not anymore.
I have a friend who can't make music when he's in a relationship. Like, if he's happy, like the only time he makes music is if he's going through a breakup. You know what I mean? But do you guys have things like that when you're creating?
For me now, no.
Okay.
But that's because now I know how to channel that feeling without having to go through that trauma.
Emotion. Yeah. Okay.
Because I call it a trauma because it's something that buries itself into your brain, and it makes you move different. Because now I can't love again because I've been hurt before, so I know what that feeling feels like. I don't need to go through it again to know
what it feels like.
Yeah, some bitches is dirty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and working with him, it's like whenever I can, if he gets to the beat first and he starts mapping it out, it's like
you can follow his lead.
I can follow his lead.
Yeah.
But then in the same breath, I could be like, yo, why don't we go at it like this? Or I'll give him the hook already. I'll be like, yo, this is the hook for this. And he'll be like, okay. And he'll start, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's being able to tap into that without having to go through something some new thing, like, because it gets tiresome after a while. And that's why a lot of us are checking out, you know what I mean, early. Or using drugs and alcohol to cope. Man. Like, and mind you, I'm not turning nobody away from a good blunt. But like, legit, straight up and down, like, these things don't have to always, they don't always have to be dictating how we move, how we think, and how we do. You know what I'm saying? If
it doesn't have to be a part of your identity.
Just if you want to smoke a blunt because you like getting high. Don't smoke a blunt just because Keisha
feel like you're supposed to.
Because Keisha ain't shit. Keisha still gonna be ain't shit after you do that blunt.
That's true.
But once you talk to your
just
therapist,
don't care as much though.
But once you talk to your therapist, you can smoke that blunt while not caring, and You just got a good handle.
And you just got a breakthrough.
Oh, somebody's John fell out.
Hey Cam, that's your AirPod out there?
Somebody got a Lucy.
We're trying to take care of the people. Dre trying to take care of the people. Now, Dre, for you, what about your creative process? Do you have to be in a certain mood to write or create music, or you always ready to go? Like, what is that like for you? Like, do you have to be in a certain place?
I don't have to be, but the sole purpose was a lot about like mental health, within itself. So you're going to be able to tell I probably went through something based off the song,
right?
Like I Am. When you listen to I Am, you come back to me and you know, you'll see.
Right.
Then you can probably ask me, what was you going through to make that song?
But when you listen to it, you'll be able to hear
you'll be able to hear the pain.
Yeah, you'll hear you'll feel
the emotion.
Yeah. You'll hear it through the music.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of my favorite songs of his, just because it's like, bro, I'm him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not
you're going through the journey. Yeah.
Like, I'm better than what it is that whatever it is it was. I'm better than that.
Okay.
And how I made the hook within itself is an affirmation, but it's not an affirmation like Dre is this, Dre is that. It's more like if you're going to say the hook, you're saying it about yourself more than you just remembering, you know, more than you memorizing.
Right.
So it's like if I said I love myself, you're really saying it now. You know what I'm saying? So it's something like that. And basically everything I did was based off the energy what I was going through. Like even though like one of the songs on there, I was going through it mentally, and then I was trying to get away from it. And then I had to actually still record the song.
Right.
So I was like, I can't do this.
It kind of took you back in that place.
Yeah,
again.
like it put me right back. It put me right back in that trauma, because I did go to therapy and stuff too. So
yeah,
but it definitely did put me in that spot. And I was like, we gotta get through it. A lot of people kept telling me, you know, I really like that song. And I'm like, it's cool.
First.
But I hated it because
you might have helped somebody else get through it.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say being cohesive and why I put albums together. That song is right before I Am. So it's more like the trials and tribulations of what I went through.
Why don't we get into some of that while we're on it? We're going to get into Soul Purpose, and we're going to play that I Am for people.
Oh, yeah.
We ready for sound, Jess? This is Soul Purpose, Dre Dior. This is everywhere?
Yeah, it's everywhere on all streaming platforms.
And this is I Am.
This is absolutely
Bro, stupid.
Finish the summer strong, cold as the winter fall, asleep until I thaw, spring up and then we ball, the week gritting the teeth, indeed, go get a job tonight, we gon' floss, too used to taking loss, humble with my greed techniques to be a boss, someday we gon' see Grammys I walk across, women as dark as me, the clothes Diana Ross, you not happy with me, then please take up with God, cause every blessing is a virtue, doubt is gonna curse you, put energy in this earth, boo. Show me what you work to. Show me what you work to. Don't let them hurt you. I am smart, I am loved, I am beautiful within. Everything is gold from the stroke of my pen. I am brave, I am great, and yes, I am him. Wake up every day speaking affirmations. I am smart, I am loved, I am beautiful within. Everything is gold from the stroke of my pen. I am brave, I am great, and yes, I am him. Wake up every day speaking affirmations. I've been low, I've been down, I have planned, I have failed. Time and time again, can't remember how I felt. I've been broke, made no sound. I have screamed, I have yelled. Went through some events, all the anger that I felt. But I'm here, 365 days of the year. And I swear, every loss can't compare. Every loss made me stronger. They couldn't hold me down longer. The obstacles gave me problems, but turned me to a monster. Used to let the pain put a hold on my spirit. Looking in the eyes of the feet, I get a fairer. Wake up every morning, then I look into the mirror. Say my own mantra, now my mind is clearer. I am smart, I am loved, I am beautiful within. Everything is gold from the stroke of my pen. I am brave, I am great, and yes, I am him. Wake up every day speaking affirmations. I am smart, I am loved, I am beautiful within. Everything is gold from the stroke of my pen. I am brave, I am great, and yes, I am him. Wake up every day speaking affirmations.
Yeah, hell yeah. And that's from Dre Dior. And that track's called I Am. And that's streaming everywhere.
Yes, sir. Off the Soul Purpose.
Yes, sir. I like that
sir.
one, man.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I see exactly what you was talking about. And I like the affirmation. And I think the thing about music is it's powerful too, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the stuff we consume, we become. You know, they say you are what you eat. It's the same goes for like what you consume mentally. You know, the stuff that you see daily. You know, I listen to a lot of like motivational speakers, self-help stuff like that. And there's this gentleman named Les Brown. And he says he doesn't even consume negative news before 12 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to start his day off like that.
Right.
And when you do something like that, and I say all that to say this, when you do something like that and you make music like that, you're helping the world. You're spreading more positive energy into the world. And it's like kind of like the Nas, I Know I Am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love to let my kids listen to that because I want them to consume that. You know, I want them to feel that. I want them to embrace that. I want them to know that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time I was influenced by music a lot when I was young. You know what I mean? When Jeezy first came out, you know, I was trying to cook up a chicken my goddamn self.
Yeah, goddamn right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, and not saying he's the reason why, but you know what I mean? It certainly it's added some additional motivation to what I was already into. But nonetheless, I think it's beautiful that you're doing your part in bringing something positive from our art form, because that's what we need. We need more of that.
Yes. Not to take nothing away from Dre, but it was so dope making the beat and mixing that track down.
Yeah. Talk about it.
I remember when you first gave me you was playing it, and I was like, and I was sitting at home, and I said, I think I got the flow, because that's how I work. I work off the flow before I work off
the
what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
So
you're like making a pattern basically.
Yeah,
you might go,
you can say what you want to say,
right?
But if the flow ain't gonna sound right, people ain't gonna turn it right off,
right?
Because especially if I'm talking about something, I gotta make it sound appeasable to other people. So that's when I was like, finish this summer strong, cold as the wind. I was going off the beat, how the pattern went, and I was like, yeah, I got this. And I told him over the phone because he wanted to hear it, and I was like, this. And he's like, oh, you coming over to do that? I said, all right, bet.
I wouldn't have grabbed him up immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing right now? I'm just sending it. All right, well, let's go. Get in the studio.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yes, I'm on my way.
That's fire. I mean, it's dope that you guys got that type of chemistry and that type of relationship that you can create like that.
No.
Because it's rare, right? It's rare that you find that type of chemistry with somebody, and I'm sure it motivates you guys. Motivate each other, and it probably. And I can't speak for you, but as I see it, it would be great motivation. Like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling it today, but the fact that you're feeling it makes me want to go in and do some work now.
There's been times
That's
where
how Brodie was made.
There's been times during Love Hurts too. There's a song I got on there called Fabricated. We don't gotta listen to it because it's too deep. But like not legit. It was from a bad place, and he was like, "No, you gotta record that." I was like, "Bro, I can't." He was like, "I don't care if you cry your whole way through it. Cry your whole way through the first take, and then once we're done, go back and record it when you're feeling better."
Yeah.
And I recorded it, and I was devastated recording it.
Yeah.
And then when I got done, went back, re-recorded it, and it sounds great. Like, it's one of my favorite joints. It's just, but it's that favorite that's like for me.
Right.
Like, I don't typically make stuff that's for me, but that was one of them ones where I was like, yeah, this is for me.
Like, you got personal investment in that one. Yeah.
I didn't even want like a video or not. I needed this to be on this project to
complete.
To finish the circle of what I wanted people to understand with that project. And that was, if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have touched it.
Now, why is Hurts? I noticed is spelled with an E as opposed to a U. What?
Music Spectrum.
Okay.
Um,
okay. Like
yeah.
megahertz.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. Very
It's
clever.
sound waves as
Yeah.
opposed to emotional feelings. It's supposed to affect the feelings. It's supposed to give you that feeling of one thing or another in parallel or adjacent to the feeling of love.
No, that's brilliant.
Because love can be painful.
Yes.
It can be pleasant. It can be sad.
It's not just one emotion.
There's a lot of different ways to love.
Yeah.
And that's the whole, I try to encompass the entire spectrum of it in every project.
I love that. That's fire, bro.
Thank you.
That's fire. You say you're not intentional in it, but it sounds like you're very intentional when
it makes sense after, because I'd be like, oh wait, this connects. But and like even when I did the first one,
yeah,
it was supposed to just be the playlist of the brokenhearted.
Okay.
That was supposed to be the whole. And if you listen to the first one, that's what it sounds like.
Right.
It sounds like sad nigga music. And I was.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I was still talking about how, you know, the future prospects of it are enjoyable. And it
still had a hint of optimism to it.
Right. Because I was still optimistic about it.
Right.
And then it went from that to I'm here, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. But it's also because of my own personal mentality.
Right.
I had a lot still that I had to unpack. The third one was like, oh man, I'm unpacked. I'm good now.
Bringing it full circle.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely like my favorite. Everybody keeps talking about how I'm gonna make a fourth one.
That's what I was just about to ask you. Are you plan on?
I don't plan on
fan service.
Yeah.
Do you ever plan? Do you ever plan to sequel the Love Hurts? Like when you made the first one, did you think there was going to be a second?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My manager was like, he was like, yo, because we had done Love Hurts, and it like Love Hurts has 14 tracks, both of them. But the first one, there was like,
what's this one has 21?
This has 20.
Okay.
Has 20 tracks on it. But a lot of the tracks that didn't make it on Love Hurts 1 ended up going on sporadic projects outside. But he was absolutely like, oh no, you're not gonna stop here. We're gonna finish the journey. And I thought the journey was finished at 2, because in my head I'm like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work out. I'm not gonna go back to Love Hurt.
So at 2, you had no intention on making a 3. Okay.
But then,
so that kind of answers the question for the 4. So it doesn't matter what you say today.
Don't call me out. Don't call me out like that.
Fan service.
Because for real, like you're not the first person.
Intent, though? What is your
My intent is to not make another one.
Okay.
Because I'm happy where I'm at. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that I stop loving. Like, and it doesn't mean that there's not more to explore.
Maybe the 4th one could be a B tape.
See. I gotta get out of here. What time is it? Oh man! Oh no! Oh shit, man! My baby's awake.
Y'all do got a show though, so I'm not gonna keep y'all too much longer.
My baby in the oven. I gotta get that.
So we definitely touched on what we got going on now. The Love Hurts. Dre Dior, that was your last project. One more time, what's the name?
Soul Purpose.
Soul Purpose.
Came out November 22nd, 23.
That's the most recent.
Yep.
And you guys are working on Brodie Dior too.
We're working on a lot, but I'm not gonna talk about what he got because
I don't even know.
He got
it just shows up.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we're gonna make something out of it. I make little side stories in between my main stories. Like Progressions of a Man was my. If you want to treat my projects like a journey or a trilogy,
it's like the Avengers.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So
Spider-Man. Now he's got.
Yeah, like Sony. We talked with Sony a little bit and come back. You know, right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's how it was. Progressions of a Man was just me by myself.
Okay.
And then Brodie came in, and then I'm like, then I went through what I went through. That's what made D Soul Searching, because I never got a chance to. This is what I was talking about when I made that post. Because I was like, dang, like I didn't get a chance to talk about why I made the Soul Searching EP. There's a track on there called Cruising, and it was crazy because it was like I was going to Jamaica because my family is from Jamaica, my dad's side, so they still live there.
Yeah,
I can go there and go and visit. So this is what I did. I didn't see him in like 20 plus years because he was locked up, and then he got out, but he got deported back there.
Right, yep.
So this is my moment to go see him. And that was 2 years ago now.
Did you guys stay in contact throughout all that time?
Nah, see, and that's the thing. Like we had like my other siblings on that side. They're there kind of, but they all have like a disdain with them.
Right.
But I came there, I was thinking I was gonna have the same thing. And then when I went there, as soon as you get on that landing strip, it was like, and I was like, I looked around, I was like, I got no hate in my heart no more, man. Like I felt like I was home again.
Yeah.
And so I went there, and he looked at me like he was gonna be like he wanted to explain himself, and I said, "You don't got to,
yeah,
man.
You got to." Yeah.
I said, "Just give me a hug, man, and
yeah,
go start from there." But then now it was funny because he gave me these beats for the cruising beat, and he was like, "Yo, take all that time to get any inspiration you got from that." Came back, I was writing it. I was writing it on the plane, fell asleep.
Yeah.
Woke up, write it again. Boom, boom, boom. Got home. Next day, got in a car crash. Smacked my bottom row of my teeth. I had braces in my mouth. So I just got them off. I was supposed to get them off 2022. Got in the car crash. I was on the passenger, and they had one of them glove compartments that was like more like a shelf.
Right.
Metal. And I just hit my mouth off of it and knocked my teeth back. And they said, good thing you had braces, because I wouldn't have a bottom row of teeth right now.
Bro, that's crazy.
Right. And that fucked me up. And I was like upset about that. And then like I called him, and like I was messed up, but like blood all over my face. I'm in the ER. They had to pull my jaw forward and stuff again. I had a fractured jaw and everything. So
you went full Kanye.
And I said, dang, he was like, yo, just rest. And I was like, nah.
No, I'm about to spit this shit right now.
I spit it like what, like a day and a half later.
Yeah.
And he's like, my face is swollen. I got beat up and stuff. And I'm over here, and you can't even, like, if you listen to it, you can't even tell that I was jacked up.
Right. You can tell.
You can tell.
You can hear it. Like if you listen to his stuff now,
yeah,
and then listen to that, you'll be like, oh yeah.
But right then,
yeah,
you wouldn't have known. And that's why I made my first song, and I was like, that's why I said nothing been the same ever since the car crash, smashed my face, blood splat on the dash. Everybody like, I don't know where that came from. But I'm also like, I'm not a show and tell dude, so I'm like, I'm not gonna tell nobody until someone asks me.
Right. Yeah.
But what made you make this song? Then I'm like, all right, bet. So this is my moment just to say it. But
yeah, hell yeah.
And that was just like a side story on what I made the EP for. Then we made Brodie.
Got you.
And then Soul Purpose was like part 2 of my Progressions of a Man, because I was talking about me progressing more as an adult. And Barbados actually made the cover art for it. And he's actually on this album too. But I was like, made it look like I was getting my hair braided, but I'm all beat up because, you know, you're going through life, you're going to get these bruises.
Right.
But I got somebody still braiding my hair so I can get ready to, present myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is. It's I don't know. It's a
journey.
Yeah, I probably got something else like.
We're gonna make it happen.
I probably got my second Avengers movie right
yeah, exactly.
there.
Yeah, yep.
And after that, I'll go back to my Thor series.
Exactly.
After that, something like that.
Hell yeah.
Before Brodie 2 drops, and before I drop anything else, I'm gonna make sure that he gets some more of that music out there.
Right.
Because it's worth hearing. So like, I'm not gonna let him slow up. Like all that. Oh well, let's let it sit for they heard it already. Right. Let's give them something else, because they consume that.
Mm-hmm.
Give them something else. I know you got it.
Right.
I know you got something else to tell them. So until you run out of stuff to say, I'm just gonna keep on pushing to, hey,
you gonna keep on feeding the beast.
Oh yeah. Come just do it. Let's just listen to the beats.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like
another EP. You might get another EP before Brodie 2 come out.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like for sure. So to tell the people what type of y'all got any shows coming up?
We got one tonight. We got one tonight at the Bridge, right?
Yeah, Bridge Music Bar.
Got one at the Bridge. I'm trying to knock out a couple of these auditions. One for the block. What is it? The block party. Who's that for?
Oh, that's for August Wilson.
August Wilson block party.
Very dope.
There was something that you had, the live band joint.
That actually, it just passed. They didn't. I guess they were doing a selection thing, but I felt like they ain't really. So I don't know. I didn't get the message back, so I guess it's over. I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, I know Flash J. If you know Flash J, shout out to him. He gave me some like months ago, and he was like, "Well, I pre-made this list, so I guess whenever he drops that information for me, so I know,
right,
it'll go from there. But it should be sometime in the spring."
Definitely be on the lookout for that. And one more time, get the people your socials and how they can get a hold of y'all.
Brodie Casanova on everything. Except for Instagram, it's Brodie Casanova 412, just to be specific. But honestly, on anything that you could think of, if you Google Brodie Casanova, you'll find everything that you need. And if you need some beats and you don't feel like paying for none, again, Google my name. Find one of them beat tapes.
Yeah.
Make use. It's out there for a reason.
Absolutely.
And Must Be Dre is on Instagram and Twitter. You can also, if you want to go onto my link on Instagram, that has everything on there, like my latest project, The Soul Purpose. But if you actually want to go out your way to look me up, it's Dredior on Dredior, DREDIOR on every streaming platforms.
Yeah, make sure y'all tap in with all of that. I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Molly State of Mind podcast at a bunch of Bull Studios. As always, we'll be back next. In fact, we might be back next Saturday. We got some things going on, but we'll definitely be back with y'all. If not that Saturday, the following one. We do this every week. Always got the dopest guests, and we appreciate y'all for being a part of that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Until go ahead.
Before you go,
yeah,
me and him gonna work.
Oh, for sure.
I want to say it to the camera. Me and him gonna work.
You might be on Brodie or 2. You never know.
It is. Sure. We're gonna have multiple joints, but one of them's hitting Brodie or 2.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna.
So we can come back here and then
talk about it.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna chop it up.
Oh yeah. And when we come back, I'm trying to. The way I'm trying to work it out is everybody that works on Brodie or 2 is going to get a piece of them, like, because we did the hoodies for the first one, but it was just for me and him.
Yeah.
But everybody that features, we're gonna try to do a piece of merch for everybody.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah. So we'll try to come back with yours.
Oh, I love that.
Before
hell yeah.
Either before the project comes out or when it comes out, we'll come back. I want to make sure I do that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna cook. I like that. Yeah. So make sure y'all tune in. You already heard we got something working for you right now. So until next time, we'll see y'all. Peace.